Hey everyone! In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use my mockups inside of Photopea. So we are talking about PSD mockups. This should work with any PSD mockup, but we are specifically working with my own mockups that I create and sell inside of my Etsy store. But we're going to use them in Photopea, which is nice because it's a free alternative to Photoshop. So if you don't have a subscription to Adobe, you can still use PSD files inside of apps like Photopea or Affinity also, which I have another tutorial for. But today we're talking about Photopea. So to use it, you need to go to photopea.com. You don't even need to have an account or sign up for anything. It's really simple and it's very much like Photoshop. So what we're going to do first is just bring in a mockup file. So I'm just going to drag in a PSD and that's going to open it up. Next, we are going to just talk about the layers panel real quick. So we have our background layer, which is locked. So you don't have anything that you need to do with this layer. It's basically just the image that's the background. Then we have the wall color change, which we will talk about in just a second, but this specific mockup has that. Some of my mockups have editable wall colors. Some of them you can edit the floor. Some of them you can change. There's lots of different things. So depending on the mockup, there may be more than what you see here, but you'll be able to kind of pick and choose what you need. The main thing is adding your artwork. So the one that says your art here, we're just going to double click this little box right here and it's going to open up a smart object. So you can see if we go back over here, this is our original file where it says 104. That's just the mockup number. I just number mine for convenience. The rectangle is the actual place that we're putting our artwork. So the next thing you need to do is just drag in some art. So I'm just gonna bring in this image. And you may need to adjust it a little bit depending on the ratio and the artwork that you're using. You can also move it around if you need to. You just got to place it exactly where you want it. And then you're going to hit enter, which will place the object where it is, kind of like pastes it there for you. And then you need to hit Command S, which will save the smart object. So once you save it, it will automatically get added to the original PSD file. And then at that point, you can just click File, Export As, and then you can choose how you want to export it. Usually a PNG or JPEG works. So that's that. If you want to change the art, so say you're just doing a lot of these and you're just kind of like, you know, changing the art, exporting, changing the art, exporting, like getting into a nice little groove with that, what you can do is go back. We're just going to delete the artwork that we just used. And then we're going to bring in another sample. I'm going to hit enter to place it, Command S to save it. It's there. Then I would just file, export, and then I would just keep going. Now, the cool thing about this mockup is we do have the color changing wall, which is a layer mask. So this little black and white part you don't have to worry about. This is just showing us the area that is being changed. All the white is what's going to get edited. To turn this on, you just need to click this little checkbox thing to put the eyeball in it. The eyeball means we can see it. If you don't see an eyeball, it's hidden. So we turn that on, and then we're just going to double click this little, I don't really know what we're going to call that. It looks like a gradient type thing. It probably has a name, but it's the hue and saturation panel. So that opens that up, and then you can adjust the hue, saturation, and lightness here, which will change the wall color. So if we just change the hue, you can see we're going like more green or like a blue color. The saturation will change how saturated it is. So it can get more, you know, vibrant and saturated, or you can desaturate it for a more muted color. And then the lightness is how light or dark something is. So if we take it all the way down, you can get a really dark wall, or we can bring it up to something really light. So let's just kind of play around with that. Maybe bring it down to a gray. That looks pretty good. And then to close that, you can just click right here. This little slider thing is showing that it's open, so I'm just going to click that to get it out of my way. And then I would just go ahead and export that, and then we have our color changing wall. to match your brand or your aesthetic or your artwork or whatever. Just makes it really nice and cohesive, and makes it a little bit different from what everybody else is using. So hopefully that was helpful.